Onegaishimasu. Okay, heels close, knees bent. Do a little bit of warm up. And the knees. And then feet about hip width apart, knees bent, hip circles from there. And gentle knee circles from there. And push the hips forward to come up. Rolling the shoulders. And rolling the head along the chest. Breathing the whole time. The tailbone pointing towards the ground, so our lower back is straight. And ear to shoulder. And a little turn over the shoulder. Good. And pressing from that back foot through to the fingertips. Hold that comfortably. And then through the hand blades to the fingertips, big arc down, stretching the back of the leg. The knee down to press the hips forward. And up. And turn. From the back heel through the hips to the hand blades. And through the hand blades to the fingertips. Big arc forward and down. Stretching the back of the leg. The knee down for hip stretch. And up. And interlace the fingers. Rolling the wrists, and we'll get the knees moving. Rolling the other way. Stretch. And clasp the hands together for stance. Nice big circles. Turning the hips on the waist. And other way. Big hip turn, big weight shift. And then same thing, but in a stance, forward and back. And exploring your range of motion all the way to the sides. And other way. And we'll switch stance. Again, mainly shifting the weight and turning the hips. And other direction. Okay. Stretching through the side. Knees bent. Okay, forward stance, Funakoki Endo is forward and back, making sure that back heel stays connected to the ground. The arms are just being driven by the weight shift. And switching stance, Funakoki Endo. Coming underneath your partner's weight, coming down to your hips, scooping underneath your partner's weight and base, and dropping down on your hips. And then with the Tenkai. Coming underneath your partner's base, dropping back into your hips. Okay, Minuchi, forward and back. Just forward and back, make a simple movement so you can work on alignment and posture, extension and coordination. And then switch stance. Blades facing forward. And then with a Tenkai. Nice and stable on that turn, 1 foot at a time. Good, okay. Left leg forward, Hidari. And we'll do Irimi Sugiyashi. So front foot comes off line, 45-degree turn, staying at forward stance, left knee is bent, okay? Okay, each, and self-assess, self-check and correct, and back. Knee, san, shi, o, ro, sich, hach. Okay, migi hanmi, offline, turn, covering center line, maintaining a forward stance, each, ni, sa, shi, o, rok, sich, hach. Okay, if we keep migi, do irimi amiyashi, so the back foot comes up, offline, turn 45 degrees, and that switching of the feet is what switches the arms for us. So no arm pumping, it's just rotating around your center line, maintaining, covering the center line. So the fingertips pointing up to the center line, okay? Each, weights in the front leg, left leg, knee, san, shi, o, rok, sich, hach, ku, ju. Weight still in the forward leg, left leg. Okay, hidari, left leg forward, back foot comes offline, Weight stays in that forward leg. Each. Knee. Just rotating around your central axis. It's on. Sheep. Rope. Rope. Seach. Hutch. Cool. Droop. Okay, just do switching of Hanmi. So again, working on staying at the same level. Keeping that extension. Covering center line the whole time. Okay. Tenkai. So each time you shift your weight slightly to move into a forward stance. So when we say forward stance, it's about 60% forward. It's not a huge weight difference. Slightly forward, about 60%. And of course, the switching of the arms is coming from the rotation of the body. So forward stance, forward stance, forward stance. Turning on one heel, then the other. Everything moving together. Coordinated, unified movement. It's Tenkai. Tenkon is turn. Back leg goes back. So again, especially at first, it's best to do a minor turn on that forward foot. So you're setting up for that big turn. So try a few on your own. Okay, let's set up on the other side. And whenever you're ready, go ahead. Okay. And then Tenkan Undo. So that's going to be a 90-degree turn with that Manuchi hand movement. So if we start with Hidari, left leg forward. So we've gone through the mechanics of this before. So driving off that back leg, that back heel, drives the arms up into Manuchi. As that foot settles back, as it settles in position, as that heel lands, that draws blades back down. Pushing off the back heel drives the upper arc. The heel settling back draws the arc back down. Okay, try a few on your own. Nice big extension, nice big arc. Okay, let's do a few with the other leg forward, right side forward. 180 degrees, same dynamic. Pushing off that back heel drives the upper arc. The heel settling back to the ground. It's like there's a string attached from the hands to that heel. It draws the hands back down as that heel lands in position. Okay, try a few of those. 180 degrees with that nice A shape for the Manuchi. Nice full extension the whole time. It's like you're holding a sword way out in front. So your fingertips are pointed up, just like the sword tip. That's right, Keld. Yeah, that's looking much better. Okay, so Joey and Keld, that's your entire program. For your grading, what you demonstrate, those moves that we did up to this point. Okay, so let's move on to the next program. And combination of moves. So it's going to be Irimi, Ayumiyashi, Tenkai. Let's just do a couple where it's just the footwork we're concerned about. I'm not going to use the arms. So Migi Hanmi. So Irimi, Ayumiyashi, and then Tenkai. So the weight moves into the right leg. Feet stay flat. Let's try that once more. So Irimi, Ayumiyashi. Then shift your weight into the right leg as you do your pivot, as you do the Tenkai, right? And the arms just do what the legs are doing. They're just driven by the body and the footwork, okay? So we have Irimi, Ayumiyashi, and then Tenkai, shifting the weight into the right leg. And let's try that once more. Let's work that out. So that's Irimi, Ayumiyashi, that switches the hands, and the hand switch as I rotate around my center line. And we're in that forward leg, the right leg. Okay, so let's do that on a 2-count beat. So each, knee. Hold it for a couple seconds. Self-check. Each, knee. Each, knee into the right leg, forward leg. Each, knee. Okay, let's work a few on the other side. So, Hidari, left side forward, just to do the footwork a couple times. Back foot comes up, front foot comes back, and then we do the Tenkai. Weight goes into the left leg. So coming off line with the back foot, stepping back, Tenkai, the weight goes into the left leg, forward leg, okay? So the arm is just driven by that body motion. So, Irimi, Ayumiyashi, Tenkai as we move into a forward stance, into the left leg. Irimi, Ayumiyashi, Tenkai. Okay, so on a 2-count. Each, knee. Keep your weight in your lower body. So notice when you're up here, that's normal. Takes training to change that. Keep everything in the lower body. Okay. So each, knee. And those legs sink down through the hips. That's right, Keld. Okay. Each, knee. Each, knee. In the beginning, actually for a long, long time, you want to take up as much space as you possibly can. So we're always talking about big extension, not restricted, nice and big, as big as we can make it without locking the joints and without leaning. As long as we're not doing those two things, we make it as big as possible. So if I kind of illustrate that, I want to take up as much space as I can. I want to use up all the space in the room without compromising those alignments, okay? So let's do that a couple more times on a 2-count. So each, take up all the space you can, knee. Each, knee. Good. Let's go back to the other side just a few times and do that whole movement on one beat. So right side forward and take up as much space as you possibly can, keeping good alignment and not locking anything up. Okay, so on 1 count, 1 beat, each into a forward stance. That's it. Knee. Back heel stays flat. San. Eat. Oh. Okay, let's work the other side. E. Okay. So on one count, each. Yeah, weight nice and low. Weights exiting through your legs and feet. Knee. Weight is low and the space is big. San. So knees are bent, arms are extended. Shi. Oh. Okay, so that's Irimi, Ayumiyashi, Tenkai. Now Irimi, Ayumiyashi, Tenkan. So after our Ayumiyashi, remember to take a little minor turn on that front foot. So it's an easy turn. Okay, let's do the footwork a couple times. So for right leg forward, back leg comes up, front leg comes back. It's Irimi, Ayumiyashi. Little turn on the left leg for a full turn with the right leg coming around. Okay, so let's do that with the arms. So that's Irimi, Ayumiyashi, Tenkan. Weight stays in the left leg, forward leg. Okay, right leg forward. Irimi, Ayumiyashi, Tenkan. Weight stays in the left leg. So we'll do that on 2 counts. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. The mind moves the body. Our intention flows forward. Each, knee. Stable at the end. Okay, so the other side. Hidari. So the right leg comes up, left leg comes back. A little turn on the right foot to swing the left leg back 180 degrees. So it's the back leg coming up, front leg coming back. Rotate on the front foot to make a big turn with the back foot. Okay. So Irimi, Ayumiyashi, Tenkan. That's right, Kel. Irimi, Ayumiyashi, Tenkan. Weight is in the right leg, forward leg. Irimi, Ayumiyashi, Tenkan. Okay, let's do that on a 2-beat. So each knee. Breath in the belly, weight in the lower body. Each knee. Intention leads the way. Each knee. Each knee. Okay, let's go back to the other side and do just a couple on 1 count. So if we have the right leg forward, that's going to look like this. All together in one smooth movement. But take your time to get that proper safe action of turning a small step on that forward leg. So the knee and ankle are taken care of. So take your time, but in one continuous movement, 1 count. Each. So we start with the right leg forward. We finish at the very end, left leg forward. So right leg forward, each. Weights in the left leg at the end. Knee. Yeah, take your time. It's just a little more smooth this time. Continuous movement. Each. Okay, that's good. Let's do a couple on the other side. So left leg forward, one count, one complete movement. Each. Knee. And the weight is in the right leg. The end, forward leg. It's on. Okay. So, Ushiro Tenkan, which is really simply stepping back with awareness and shape. So, my hips simply turn to make the step. Just like when we do technique, going forward, I turn the hip. I turn the hip to make the step. I turn the hip to bring that leg back. Okay, so if I show from the front here, I'm simply turning my hips and covering my center line. So let's do a few. So go ahead, work through one length of the room, and then do a tenkai, so you can come right back the other direction. So keep doing a tenkai when you reach the end of the room, and then you can continue on going the other way. Sorry, I'm not sure how long you were there. Okay, so Yoko Otoshi Ukumi Undo. Yoko is side, Otoshi is drop. Ukumi, falling. So let me demonstrate that once or twice. So we'll take that from a half seiza. So of course this is full seiza, half seiza. I fall towards the low side. Again, we endeavored to make a full 90-degree fall rather than to the back corner. So I set up, the slapping side is across my body, palm out so it's ready. Other hand is at the belly or the belt so it doesn't flop around. So I simply slide my butt off, I tuck my chin, and fall completely sideways, 90 degrees. Okay, so if you'll go ahead and do that, maybe 3 or 4 times, and I'll just take a look. Yeah, feel free to sit totally down on your leg. Sit totally down on your leg like you're sitting seiza, and then just slide the butt off. Tuck your chin before you go. Try to go directly to the side. Okay, try a few on the other side. Good. Yeah, so Bonnie, that's a good setup. You're taking your time, being very methodical with the whole setup. So that's really good. So if I demonstrate once or twice, Ushiro Otoshi, back break fall. You start up on one knee, set up with the chin tucked, arms crossed, palms facing outward, ready for the slap. You'll want to move that lower leg out of the way, so you're not sitting on your lower leg. And then you simply sit down on the floor. So I set up, I move my back leg, sit down and keep my back round. So I set up, my back is rounded, chin tucked, cross, get the foot out of the way, sit down, roll back, slap, and keep the head on the chest. So try a few of those. Good. Now, just to work evenly, try a couple with the other knee up when you start. Good. Okay. Then Shiko. So basically, you're working from your hips. Keep your heels together. So if I do it without the arms, just so you can really see the hip action, I'm turning the hips. Turning the hips, coming up on the ball of the foot. Now for the whole demonstration, you want the arms, as always, to be connected to the body. So try a few of those. Hopefully your floor is fairly knee friendly. Try to have that back heel come up to the other heel as soon as humanly possible. Good. Okay. Now we're into the strikes. Shomanuchi. So a good forward stance. And just like a step is initiated by hip turn, the raising of the sword is initiated by hip turn. And that hip turn makes the step. As that foot lands, that weight comes forward and down. That's the dynamic for the cut. So again, we finish at Chudon. That would be too low. Roll the elbow forward. The hip going forward rolls the elbow forward. As you drop the weight down your front hip for the step, that brings the elbow down. Okay, let's do a few together. So each, knee, san. Do a few more on your own. Come right down the center line. That's right. So right up the top of the head, the center of the head, center line. So it starts here, Kel. Top of the head, it comes right down the center line. That's it. Okay, try a few on the other side. Go ahead on your own time. Now back heel stays flat at the very end, so you're not lurching forward or leaning forward. Back is still vertical and straight at the end. Good. Okay, Yokomen starts exactly the same way. Turning the hip, peels off that back heel. Turning the hip, raises that back hand over center line, over the head. Stepping forward to make a slight turn of the foot and hip, just a couple degrees off center. And that's enough to change the angle of the cut. Okay, start together. So each, knee, san. Okay, go ahead a few more. And the other hand stays active, ready and active. Good. Okay. So now Sayuendo. Sayuendo. So horse stance. We shift the weight. 2 beats. Shift the weight. Sink, sink, sink into the hip. Okay. So each, ni, san, shi. Ho, rok, sich, hach. Each knee, please continue. And so the secondary arm is here. Rather than reaching across, it's just across the chest. Yeah. And then everybody bend your knees more. Yeah, stay in a deeper stance. So when I said light horse stance, everybody took me really literally. Okay, medium horse stance then. Bend those knees. Yes, so that's a good rhythm, Bonnie. Okay, now let's do the same thing in 2-beat with the slide steps. So it's slide step, sink, sink, slide step, sink, sink, not bobbing up and down, so keeping the knees bent in the middle. Okay, so here we go. Each knee, san, shi, go, roke, siege, hutch. Okay, continue, please. Turn the hips. Right. Good. So Bonnie's remembering to turn the head the other way. Excellent. Okay, then just one more thing. Sayuendo with 1 beat. So first is stationary. So it's everything, try to get all that relaxation and power coming together in just one chance, 1 beat. So each knee, san, shift the weight, shift the weight, shift the weight. Keep the knees bent. Chi, go, roke. That's it. That's it. That's a good dynamic movement, Bonnie. Very good. Okay, now let's add the slide step. Go ahead on your own. Just add that slide step. Okay. Let me show you something real quick. Okay. There's a bit of a hop step there. Okay, that's hopping. So stay same level. Same level. Okay, let's see that again. 1 foot, then the other, 1 foot, then the other. So there's no hopping. Excellent. Okay. So I think we have time to do a little bit of breathing. Breathe in, expand. Breathe out, back to center. I think everybody knows we're doing Bonnie's grading. Take cue. And just about 20 minutes or so from now at 7:30. I think everybody got the Zoom login info. If not, just email me real quick. Okay, let's bow out.